Hello, YouTubers. How are you? I always get a kick out of this background. I'm a renter, so I don't get to change it right now. I've come on live for a minute because I've gotten a lot of information that's getting me kind of guiding me back into the twin flame journey. So I'm just going to give it a second here and see if anyone comes on. But I do have a message I'm kind of being guided to pass on. And if people are participating in the twin flame journey, if you're experiencing it, if you're part of it, if you're struggling through it, challenged with it, the words that they just gave me just now were literally like join the club, because it's actually all really normal for this journey. There's some people, and I'm a big believer that if you think something's going to be hard, you're definitely that's definitely how it's going to show up, because that is the law of attraction, the law of likeness, the law of vibrational match. You can call it a lot of different things. But what they're really wanting everyone to know, because I really went into a place where I just didn't want anything to do with it anymore, because it was taking up so much of my life force. It was, if you guys remember from my previous videos, I could see my twin 8 times a day, 10 times a day. And that was, a lot of people are distant from their twins. They didn't have that experience. And then something came up and it literally just went down to nothing. He changed jobs. It just went to nothing. And I saw him about a half a dozen times in 12 months. And then somebody started to talk to me and gave me some information about a catalyst twin. And it never felt like it was right for me, but I did want to understand it. So I did work with the energy of the catalyst twin. And a catalyst twin is the one that comes just before. It's like the closest match to our true twin, in that they really are the ones that pole vault us into the journey. They help us get adjusted to it. They recognize, we recognize there's something very special before, but they're really the catalyst to the true twin. It didn't resonate for me, but it resonates for some people. And once people clear catalyst energy, either the true twin will show up, or your twin, that energy that's separating you, because it's affecting your union, that will start to fall away. And so interestingly enough, what happened was, as soon as I started doing these meditations for the catalyst twin, I'm not even joking. I mean, bam, 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 bam. I saw him like 5 times in 7 or 8 days. And I literally hadn't seen him that many times for, almost 13 or 14 months in total. I saw him about that many times, other than occasionally I might see, his truck in the distance or something like that. And I don't think my volume is on. Is my volume working? It looks like somebody's there, and I don't think my volume is on. What? Shoot, how can I tell? If you can write something in the notes, if you see the volume, if you can hear me, let me know. Because it's got the X there, and I don't know why it would be doing that. It says it's on. When I talk, I see the things moving, so. Geez, I'd sure like to know before I keep going. Anyways, if you can hear me, or you can't hear me, if you can't hear me, say. So I don't have a lot of time today, but what happened was, it's just been so incredibly interesting that, I worked with this catalyst energy and I did this meditation. And what I did was I chose to clear the energy of the catalyst twin, versus that's making a decision, that's my twin, and which means I have another one. Because I remember when I first heard that, I was like, no, 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 not another twin. That is not my story. And who would want that? However, when I started to understand, and then that lots of times there's people that will be our catalyst to a better place, to a different relationship, to a healthier relationship. We can be with someone and we bottom out. But what I've really learned, and the reason that I titled this, I'm going to love you like I'm going to lose you, is that song. And it's Meghan Trainor and John Legend. I'm going to... So that they have this beautiful song called I'm Going to Love You Like I'm Going to Lose You. And I do a lot of work with music and stuff like that. And sometimes if I want a message, I put on rotation or shuffle, and I ask for 3 songs in a row. And it's just unbelievable how succinct they will be, how the message will be similar from one song to the next. And that song came up on my playlist this morning. And I thought, that really is a lot of what the true twin energy is about. Is you really, because if you truly understand and believe that there is a twin, that you even can be born a twin, that there's a twin in the universe that is a perfect vibrational match to you. And that doesn't mean a perfect human match, because humans are not perfect. None of us are perfect. So we're never going to have that. But I always tell people, and I always say, but you can find someone, twin or not, that's perfect for you. That's different than expecting perfection in someone. And I believe that's what our twin is. Our twin is our perfect match. They're the vibrational match. They're the closest. We have I've been shown shared chakras and things like that we carry. But it was so very interesting that as soon as I brought forward this catalyst twin energy, which potentially really is about disconnecting and separating from that person, my twin literally just started showing up like out of nowhere. I was running into him again. I've started to actually track it. And even since the 24th of May, as of 2 days ago, I've seen him 11 times. It's like I'm not leaving my house and we're coming out of parking lots, and one's going in, pulling out of 7-Eleven, one's pulling in, meeting at four corners constantly and stuff like this. So I find it very interesting that when I chose to accept that energy and work on clearing the interference of the catalyst twin. So if there is a catalyst twin, we want to clear that. If they're carrying the energy of it, meaning it's in our program, it's in our Akashic records, and it's in a past life. And within probably, I'd have to go look at the exact dates, but probably within literally a few days of me actually starting that meditation is when he started showing up. And I remember thinking, oh, that's kind of cool that he showed up. And I was literally thinking about it, and he drove by, and he doesn't live in town, and that used to happen because he worked. People know that. But all of a sudden, out of somebody you haven't seen for months and months and months, I'm clearing this energy. I look up out my window, and there he goes by my window, and I'm like, oh, well, okay, what's that about? And it's really, in a way, it's brought us back into view with each other, because we're now seeing each other again. And we have a love at first sight for each other. We always have love at first sight for each other. And I mean, I haven't spoke to him because we haven't actually met in person. But I can tell, we've had eye contact in our cars and different things like that. And I know in my heart that it will awaken him in some way. Now, what that awakening does it move him to some form of action that he hasn't taken yet? But really what I recognized was in this song about love, and I'm going to love you like I'm going to lose you, that can be something we can practice with self-love. But that's really what the twin is about, because we're really meant to just go into the full expression of love, unconditional love, accepting where they're at, understanding their maybe working through karmic agreements. And if they have a karmic agreement that they've agreed to play out in this lifetime previous to union with us, that is actually the path that we would have all agreed to prior to incarnating. And so you have to allow for that, but you can also do the meditations and you can do the energy on moving forward the karmic agreements, because what also is very true is people can be really stuck in that karmic agreement because in this lifetime they've gone into low self-esteem, or they're in a controlling, manipulating relationship because, you know, one of the souls has shown up and really is taking charge, the other one's not really taking charge of their life at all. So there's like, you could go on endlessly with the stories. But go listen to that song and go look at it, look inside your heart and say, is this what this feels like for me? Because, that's how I want to love my twin. I want to love him like every day is the last day, because when we're in each other's zone, and when we were around each other, and when we were in front of each other, you see somebody's light comes into their eyes. You see them smile. You see how they relax. You see how sad they are when you leave, and you recognize that even if they're living a different choice right now, it doesn't take away from how they feel necessarily. And one thing that what he would say to me, which kind of frustrated me a little bit, but he'd say, because I would say something like, well, this is happening. And he'd say, well, don't think that means that, in other words, because I didn't answer a text message doesn't mean that I'm not thinking about you. Don't think that means that is a common thing that he would say to me. I always found that funny and cute and then frustrating at the same time. So I'm not going to go much more today, but the other thing that I can tell you is I've been pulling a lot of cards lately, and I can pull 4 cards is usually what I pull for a message. And I have pulled the card trust probably, I'm saying 5 times in a row. I have shuffled the cards. Oh, now we just had one. The card very soon just fell on the floor. But I have pulled the cards, and every single time it comes up, trust. You need to trust. You need to trust. And there's all sorts of levels of trust. There's trusting in them. There's trusting in ourselves. There's trusting in the higher story. They're trusting that you can get through this. You're trusting that even if you're not in union, it does not mean that love is not real. But if a catalyst twin really resonates for you, I'm willing, I'm going to be talking about that and teaching that. And I'm actually launching a teaching platform. I've been off camera for quite a while. I do most of my stuff on Facebook, and my Facebook page is Spiritual Wisdom 101. And, come there. That's where I do most of my work. I had 5 Facebook pages, LinkedIn, Twitter going at one time. I was getting scattered. I didn't feel like I was serving anyone properly. And so I'm actually kind of going under one platform now. But I do want to bring the conversation forward, because I'm ready to do it again. I'm ready to start talking about this again, because I really had to step back and go through a lot of grieving when I went from seeing somebody every day to, sometimes, 5-7 times a day, 6 days a week. I mean, I was like 30 times a week, and I would probably never saw him less than 6 times a day. And so what they want you to recognize is that really pay attention, and that there's a couple things that are coming up for people. And one of them is really showing up is that there's children. So if you have a twin that has children, or they're staying in a relationship and they're wanting to be committed to their kids till a certain time. I've talked to people endlessly about this conversation, where some people will say, I've had a man say to me, and if a man loves you, it doesn't matter what his situation is, he'll get out of it to be with you. And I've had other people say to me, you couldn't have convinced me to leave my children until they graduated. It wouldn't matter how lonely they were, how miserable they were. What happens a lot of that time, though, because there's no love in the relationship between the adults and the parental behavior, really a lot of times that's a longevity experience for the kids to have to go through, where they're actually experiencing unhappy parents for years and years and years. And so they tell you to watch for that. There's a lot of unrequited love stuff coming up. And so you ask yourself, if the unrequited love is not on your part between you and your twin, that's the relationship they're in. They're there. They haven't left it yet. There's no love in it. But really watch, pay attention, stay optimistic. This is your soulmate. I can pull these cards and again and again and again, but the message is you have to start to develop a level of trust that you chose to be in this connection. You chose to incarnate at the same time as your twin. You chose to see them. You chose to interact with them. This is all stuff that it's not happening by happenstance. And some people are waking up. A lot of twins are coming together. It's a big part of bringing the highest energy of love to the earth. So there really is a bigger story going on here. And so if you guys like the videos and stuff, though, I'm going to be doing them, but I'm not going to be doing them directly on YouTube. So like the channel and come and subscribe on my Facebook page, and just keep in tune with what's coming, because, there's a lot of changes going on the earth, and they actually really do need a lot of us to step up into our higher selves and get off the pity pots and all of that kind of stuff. Because I'm party groups, and I'll have people saying, I can't take it anymore. And I understand that. I understand that place where I can't take it anymore. I literally need to shut down and regroup so that I become healthier in this relationship. And then, some people have had to go through a grieving period and stuff like that. So, hello, Farzine. Am I pronouncing your name properly? If not, I'm sorry. And I have a weird thing going on here. My microphone has an X through it, but the little thingy's going, so I think it's coming through if you can hear me. And from Germany, what time of the day is it in Germany? Oh, you know what? That's not a comment that's welcome here. So this is what we do with people like you. Thank you. There we go. Yeah, you're gone. Anyways, all he could come up with was my breasts were big. So, I could chose to go put my clothes up to here to not have that experience happen. So anyways, I was kind. I said hello, and now you're gone. So suits me perfectly. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, I can't be attached to that kind of stuff. Stay tuned, Spiritual Wisdom 101 on Facebook. And we're actually building a teaching platform, so it's going to be right on Facebook. So I can do everything under one roof. It actually does attach to Google Hangouts. But that way I can get focused again, and I'm not trying to, be 10 things to 10 people and all that type of stuff. But I can tell you, really, really go visit that song, I'm going to love you like I'm going to lose you. Think about. Bye for now.